Hey there everyone, this is part 3 of my Shopify tutorial video series, and today we're going to be taking a look at some of the features you can find here on the left bar of your home dashboard page. So let's look through these. So your first option here is orders. Now anytime a customer places an order through your store, your orders are going to show up here in a list. And I've created a draft order here to give you an idea. If you go to all orders after you get your first order, it'll look very similar to this, and you can click on the order, see the order in more detail. So here it'll show your product or products that were ordered, the quantities of them, the price of each. It'll show your discounts if your customers used any discounts you provided, a subtotal. It'll add the shipping cost here, and then any applicable taxes, and finally the total down here of the entire order. Now you can add a note here for yourself if you would like to for some reason. You can also send your customer an email invoice here if they've left their email address with you. Down here you have several payment options. So if you don't have auto capture turned on for your payments and you look at this and everything seems okay, you can just click mark as paid, mark as pending, or if they've given you their credit card number, you can actually pay with credit card here. And usually as part of the order, Shopify will capture their customer's credit card information, or if you set up the PayPal option, money will go directly to the PayPal account that you set up with Shopify. And on this bar here, we can see some customer information. So I just put in a fake name here, obviously, but it'll show your actual customer's name here. It'll show an email address if they provided it before in an order. It'll show their shipping address, and then their billing address. It'll just say same as shipping address if it is in fact the same. And I believe here you can add tags. This can help you track your orders later. If you have especially a lot of orders, this can really help you organize your orders. And that's about it for the orders page. So this tab will allow you to set up your abandoned checkouts and what happens if somebody abandons a checkout on your store. But you'll have to take a look at that yourself since I don't have that option available to me right now. Let's take a look at the products tab. So I've added one product in here just for demonstration. And of course, you'll see more products in here as you add more, but let's take a look at what happens when we click on one product, and it'll give us more detail. So where you go to the product page in your theme or on your website, where you actually see all the product description and everything in that page, that's all input into this box. And you can use text. Let's take a look. You can write your product description. Whatever you'd like to put in there. Really, some of the key features of this are being able to add an image. So if you'd like to do that, just click here. You can actually input an image from a URL. Just go find a picture somewhere, right click on it, and then select the save URL or save image path option, and then paste that in here, and Shopify will pull that image from that website address. If you already have product images, they'll show up in here, and this will pull the images from your database on Shopify. And these are just other images you've uploaded maybe in the theme editor or something. And then if you don't have images here that you'd like, you can upload even more just by clicking on the upload button there. Another really great feature, and I really feel like you should utilize this as much as possible. If you have a video of your product, you can add a video in here. But you have to have an embed code. And for instance, if your video is hosted by YouTube, you can go to the share button, and in there you can find an embed code option and copy that and paste it directly in here, and then click insert video, and it'll load the video in the spot that you selected in this text editor. I've never really used this option, but this could be useful if you have sizing for clothes or something and you just want to input everything manually. Also, another interesting option that you might want to use is if you select some text, you'll see that this insert link option becomes available. Just click on that and you can add a link to a web page. Use this for SEO. Just write what the actual link is about, what content it's for. And I would suggest open this link in a new window, so it just opens another window in their web browser and it keeps this current page open, because some people tend to get distracted and they forget to go back to your page or something. So if we go down here, we see images of the product, and these images will be showcased on your product pages. This is pricing for each individual item, and this is like a sales price, compare at price. And this is just for your own tracking. So with this cost per item, this is the cost that you pay from your supplier directly, so that when you have the difference of your sales price and this, it's your profit, minus all the taxes and everything too. And then if you want to charge taxes, you can check this box here, and this tax price will be based off of your tax settings and your settings that you set up through here. So there is a tax settings tab. You can click on that and you can get to it there. And I'm not going to advise you on how to do that, but just know that this option is available here. It'll automatically add the tax cost to the product. And then this is all just for inventory tracking. So you can just select to not track the inventory at all, or you can actually put a number in here. This is if you have your own stock keeping unit system of some kind. You can input that number here, or a barcode or something, some other form of tracking. And then if for some instance you want your customers to be able to purchase a product even if it's out of stock, just select this checkbox here. And then the only time you want to leave this unchecked is if it's a digital product of some kind, but otherwise just leave this checked. And this is all based on your shipping settings. So if you have weight-based shipping, that's where this comes in here. So don't forget about this. I believe you have ounces, kilograms, and grams here too, instead of just pounds. So this is really only of concern if you're creating your own shipping labels, like you're fulfilling your own products. You don't really need to worry about this if you're drop shipping, because your supplier will take care of that. And then I actually have absolutely no idea what this is for, so maybe you can find more information on that. And then I think that's your only fulfillment service. It's just Shopify. So if you have variants, let's say you have this backpack in red or something, or different sizes of the backpack, you don't have to create separate products for that. You can actually create variants. And let's give an example of one here. So let's say one of your different options is size, for example. Or you can have color. Here's where you actually input what your different options are. So let's say red. And then it'll create an option. Say one of our sizes is, let's say 65 centimeters or something like that. So there's an option for that, and it'll create the variants of all these independently, and your customers will be able to select which ones they want. And down here, don't forget about this. You can change the prices individually of each variant of the product. You can have different tracking numbers, and you can also have different inventory amounts. And let's click save. So please remember to always click save. You don't want to lose what you've done. That's a really rookie mistake that I've done plenty of times, so you don't want to do that. Trust me. Now, if you select this checkbox and you go over to actions, you get all these other options. You can bulk select. If you have a bunch of items here, you can select these check boxes, bulk select all the items, change prices of all of them, update quantities, update images, all in like a bulk editor mode. So just be conscious of that you don't have to change everything one by one. And if you would like to see what your product page link is, it'll show up here. The title of your page is right here. So this gives you an idea of what your product page will actually look like in a search engine. And if you want to edit your product page for this particular product's SEO items, like your page title, meta description, and URL handle, which you can change anything past the products / here, you can do all that right in this editor at the bottom. Now, this is just for tracking. Once again, you can put what type of product it is, and then you can create multiple vendor names. You can just input text in here if you have different vendors, and they'll all start showing up every time you click on this. And this is once again your product collection. So right now the only one I have created for demonstration is called wearables, and I've put it into the wearables collection. And the only other one that shows up automatically by default is the homepage collection, and that's just there. And then these are tags. So these directly affect if a customer uses the search bar or the search function on your web page. That search function will look for these tag keywords, and it'll suggest anything that has a matching keyword in the search. So you want to put in as many words as you can think of that relate to this product. And also, this is another important thing. So this here, product availability, you actually will have multiple options here when we set up what's called our different sales channels, and I'll show that a little bit later. But basically, you can connect your store to websites like Facebook, Instagram. I believe BuzzFeed is an option. There's quite a few of them now, and Shopify is really kind of working on extending that list of places that you can sell your products besides just your Shopify store. And all that will be able to be accessed here, and you can check the boxes of your sales channels and then promote this product on those as well. And then if you actually want to view the web page, let's take a look here. You just click this and it'll open your web page in a new tab. Doesn't look too bad. Very plain though. I don't believe I've saved much from last videos as far as the colors and everything, but this is probably the best way to get a real representation of what your web page actually looks like, because once you're done, this is the actual web page. So make sure to check this and really make sure you're happy with the result before you continue. All right. Transfers, inventory, collections. So here you can create new collections, and here's our wearables collection, and you can actually input a description of each collection separately. You know, you have your title. You can actually make the products inside every collection available on your sales channels, once again, just like a product. And then here's where you actually add multiple products into your product collections. And if I had more than just this backpack product, I could search for those here. And really, you have a lot of the similarities here between your product page options and this wearables option. And this isn't available to me, but with some upgraded plans of Shopify, you can actually create gift cards for your customers, which is great for customer engagement. And if you have that option, it's definitely something you want to be doing. Now let's take a look at the customers tab. So anytime a customer purchases from your store, their information will be captured here. And you can sort through if they're a new customer, a returning customer, they've purchased from you again, if they've abandoned a checkout. So they would have had to have at least filled out the contact section of your checkout page to have been captured in the customers tab here. But you can still see their information if they abandon a checkout here. This list here is people that have actually left that subscribe to email checkbox in your checkout process on and then continued. So they've agreed to be an email subscriber. And so the customers that have done that will show up here. And then anyone from the US. So, I mean, these are all pretty self-explanatory. Let's check on our tester customer here. So if you want to, for any reason, you can leave a note about this customer. You know, something like, this is a great customer. Promote exclusively to this customer. Something like that. This really just shows you the recent orders. Very self-explanatory. And then these comments, like it says down here, these are just for you or your staff to see. Here's going to be all their contact info that they've left with you in the past. And if you want to create tags for specific customers, you can here. So I've never actually used these, but I believe you can send a request email to get more data about the customer if you select this option here. So that's something you might want to look into if you're missing a bunch of a customer's information. And this is obviously if you want to erase someone's personal info. This is good to have if somebody's asked you specifically, because I'm sure that's happened from time to time. Alright, let's look at our... So this is probably one of my favorite tabs in all of Shopify. The Analytics tab is pretty good at getting everything you want to see as far as your charts and graphs all in one page. And of course this isn't going to show anything because I have 0 sales on this test store. But when you start getting sales or traffic or any of these data points on here, you're going to start seeing things. And you can select date ranges here. So if you come on here and you just got a sale and you're wondering why you don't see anything, make sure that what you want to see is within the date range, and then actually select it and click apply down here. So I think some of the most important graphs here would be, your total sales amount. This is the number of times people have gone on your store. This is obviously how many times the same customers have come back to your store. So this box is just for your conversion funnel. So everything, basically the whole checkout process is shown here in different steps. And this is going to be a very frequently looked at little rectangle for you, especially when you're first starting out trying to figure out how to optimize your store and really get the most out of your store. A lot of your time is going to be spent on this page and even just kind of looking at these values here. Your average order value is another very important metric that you want to always be cognizant of. Always keep an eye on this, and you want this as high as you can get it eventually. This will actually show you, so by device type they mean desktop or mobile. This will show you what people are using when they are on your store. This will actually show you by location. I believe it shows you by countries, top products and units. So traffic source is like social sources or organic search. It'll show all that. And this is split off just by social source, so it'll show you Instagram or Facebook. And refers, from my experience, those usually end up being, Facebook, or maybe sometimes Google will show up here. It depends on how people are getting to your website and what your traffic looks like. Just pay attention to the titles, and they're really all self-explanatory, and they show you exactly what you need to see. And you can have reports. So this is sort of similar to Google's analytics, and it has some of the same readouts on, right here as Google Analytics does. So that's some of your behavior of the people that are on your website or store, number of sessions, number of sales. Some of these are really similar to the dashboards tab that we just saw. And then here's another really interesting feature of Shopify's analytics. This will actually show you in real time throughout the whole world, if you zoom out, when people are on your website, what they're doing down here, if they have an active cart or checking out at the time or purchasing. You'll see little curves show up here, and this will show you your page views per minute, and you have your total visitors at the moment, This is actually pretty fun to watch sometimes, especially when you have peaks of higher traffic. This is sometimes really interesting to see. We'll skip over this because I like to do my marketing outside of this, and I plan on having some more videos in the future about different marketing platforms and ads platforms, so stay tuned for those. Really excited to show you guys a lot. Alright, let's create a discount. These are great. They'll get people much more excited about your sales and your store. So this discount code, you can make it really anything you want. It's just a name to differentiate it. Where all the important details are down past that. So you can make a percentage sale off, a fixed amount. You can offer free shipping if you don't already have it. And then you can get buy something, get something else. Like a buy something, get something free. What is that called? A BOGO? Buy one, get one? It's exactly what this is. You can select your products here. So you can actually change to specific collections. So any product within a collection will be part of this discount, or you can make this for specific products and you want to search for those here. The one product I have should show up. So there we go. Let's say I want to have a special on this backpack, and I want to offer it a 25% off the entire order. Specific products, we can choose that product again. Specific collections, entire order, just any order. You can input your minimum requirements. You know, if you have none, you want to have your customers purchase at least a certain amount before it triggers this, or a minimum quantity. Here's where you can have this discount just for specific groups. So this is where your customer tags come in. Specific customers, you can actually put customer names in here, or you just leave it for anybody that creates an order on your store. And this is if you want the discount to be able to be used multiple times by a customer. You can input whatever number you want here, or just once per customer, and just check this. And then you want to set your range here. So I believe this defaults automatically to the date and time that it currently is right now. But you can actually start it whenever you want. And then if you want it to end on a specific date, you can set that up right here if you just check that box. And then before you hit save, you want to make sure you look through your summary here and make sure this discount is exactly how you want it, and it's exactly what you want. And be careful, because if you screw something up here, you could be giving away something for practically nothing. So we all know. Just be aware. And also, make sure to hit save. And you shouldn't have errors here because you'll have a name, but just make sure you click save and don't lose your work. And finally, we have one of our most important tabs of all, our apps. So Shopify, really where Shopify shines is the apps. There are many of them. They have, so what you can do is go to a separate page called the Shopify App Store. Let's see, let's open this in a new tab. Let's take a look. I'm going to recommend a few. I also recommend you do your research and really look for apps that you think will be of value to your business, your store. Do your research. Like with any product, do your research. Make sure everything seems all right and that it's not scammy and that you think the reviews say it's good. It feels okay. It's a good gut feeling, and then go with it. But one that is really a must, I feel like, for almost anyone that's going to use Shopify is Oberlo. And it does everything from syncing products from AliExpress to fulfilling orders, and the list goes on. And I'm not going to go into too much detail on Oberlo, but I definitely recommend you check it out. Now let's take a quick look at the Shopify App Store. So it's really a simple website. You can search for what type of apps. So let's say you want an app that helps with upsells. Just type upsell in here and hit the search. Let's do that real quick, actually. And as you can see, like most web pages with the search function, you get all your results here, and you can filter things out here, and you can filter free or paid apps. And there are, depending on what you're looking for, sometimes quite a lot of free apps that do just as well as the paid apps. And that's really it. Most installed, newest. So let's see. The most installed upsell app is Upsell Recommendations, and it has 4.5 stars in the reviews section and 146 reviews. So it seems like it's pretty good, especially considering that it's free, which is probably the best part. And I really believe that's about it. That's really Shopify in a nutshell. And there's quite a lot to soak up at first, but once you use it and kind of dive into it and really just play around with it, get comfortable with it, I think you'll find that it's relatively easy to use and pretty easy to understand. There's usually not too many things that are really complicated and confusing. And if you ever get stuck, you can contact Shopify's help. They have people that'll help you out. They have forums. You can really just type in your questions into Google, and half the time your answers will be on a Shopify forum somewhere. So make sure if you're stuck that you either contact Shopify directly or you just look for the same questions being answered on Shopify's forum. And thanks a lot for checking out this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Please like the video and subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be posting reviews of e-commerce software, marketing software, and really just about anything that'll help you guys in your journey for your online income life. Thank you very much. Bye.